Listen, I said it once, and I'll say it again. Billy Williams, I know you asked some questions. You let us go last time. But I feel like the safest place for us would be the insane asylum. It wouldn't be safe at all. I don't think we're safe anywhere. To think that the 3 investigative divisions would actually be merged into one. Staring at the detectives gathered in the Shibuya Police Department's conference room, Bon Yasuji, Brain? What? Thought that to himself. The Inokashira Line Shibuya Station public bathroom homicide case, or as the media called it to amuse themselves, the vampire case, I'd rather call it that than whatever the shit I just said, had caused an increasingly serious drop in manpower. When 3 brutal murders occurred within the same jurisdiction within the same period of time, the possibility of a single perpetrator became more and more evident. The suggestion had been raised by that the Cornelius Tower mass suicide case had been be handled by the juvenile division, but since the media had been treating it as a part of NewGen, there was the possibility that if the police treated the case differently, they would be subjected to criticism. The police are always subjected to criticism no matter what they do. Therefore, it was only natural that the central office had chosen the only remaining option, to merge the several investigation headquarters. With this integration now in place, the group was reviewing the series of NewGen cases one by one. The projection screen in front of the conference room displayed a series of photographs of the crime scenes one after another. Suwa had been chosen to hold the presentation. He's always doing everything. He had stayed up all last night, going over the documents endlessly. Good work, Bon muttered internally, chin resting in his hands. He's always putting in so much work.
コーネリアスタワー集団投身自殺事件の発生は9月7日っす。です。ニュージェネとマスコミが故障している4つの事件の中では一番最初に発生してます。午後11時半ごろ、渋谷コーネリアスタワー屋上のヘリポートから男女5人が転落、全員死亡しました。5人は全員未成年の高校生。男が3人、女が2人。ただし5人のうち男女1人ずつだけが同じ学校なだけで、それ以外の3人はいずれも別の学校でした。
Like, look at this. Like Jesus.
5人それぞれの爪の間にわずかな肉片が残っており、手のひらに引っかき傷があったことが司法解剖で判明しました。そこから5人は互いに手をつないだ状態で転落したと推測されます。屋上には遺書らしきものはなし。被害者5人は学校帰りに待ち合わせてコーネリアスタワーへ向かったようです。なお、事件性があることを示す根拠としては、コーネリアスタワー屋上が関係者以外立ち入り禁止であったことが挙げられます。事件があった時間、屋上への扉は施錠されており、その扉のドアノブに被害者5人の指紋は付着してませんでした。
I wonder who could, you know.
また、5人の遺品からも扉の鍵は見つかっていません。このことから、被害者以外の第三者が事件前後にその現場にいた可能性があります。
It was like, let me allow you guys up on this roof, see?
その第三者が扉の鍵を持っており、事件前、あるいは事件後に鍵を閉めて立ち去ったという線で捜査を続けてます。コーネリアスタワーのホテル従業員全員への聞き取り調査は終了。ほぼ全員にアリバイがありました。今はタワーに入っている企業の社員に話を聞いているところです。
Basically, we're out of options.
被害者たち5人には今のところ自殺する理由は見つかっていません。家族、友人、学校の教師など5人中4人の関係者が口を揃えて自殺する理由などないと断言してます。
Well, I mean, you know, you don't know what's truly inside a person, right? Like, you don't... Oh, God. That's the fetus one. I didn't want to see that. Oh, God. The slideshow swapped to the picture of the second case, the Shibuya Station undergrad and fetus homicide case.
続いて、 通称妊娠男事件についてですが、
I feel like this is the most disgusting one.
事件発生は9月19日。通称集団ダイブ事件から12日後。第一発見者は現場近くのカラオケ店店員。遺体発見は午前5時前後。被害者は渋谷区在住の大学3年生、近衛千鶴夫21歳。
Look at the hand. The hand.
発見された時にはすでに死亡してました。
Well, the print, that's what I meant.
死亡推定時刻は遺体発見の約4時間前、19日の午前1時頃です。遺体は腹部が不自然に大きく膨れ上がっており、中から胎児が発見されました。司法解剖の結果、被害者は生きたまま腹部を何者かに切開され、胃の中に胎児を入れられたようです。
Truly psychotic behavior.
胎児はすでにその時点で亡くなっていたと思われます。被害者が死亡したのは腹部を縫合された後、縫合した部分をかきむしったり、縫合糸を一部引きちぎった形跡が見られました。
God, they sewed it back together. Oh, see, I don't like this one.
胎児は妊娠8ヶ月ぐらいの状態で、母親の体から帝王切開で取り上げられたと考えられます。
Well, I don't like any of the murders. You know what I mean? I just think this is like the most one.
胎児の母親については今のところ見つかってません。その生死についても不明です。
Oh.
DNA 鑑定の結果、胎児と被害者には血縁関係はありませんでした。ちなみに胎児の血液型は B 型、被害者の血液型は A 型です。
Is that what's the word? Is that relevant? It could be. Suwa took a breath. He seemed exhausted from all the talking. Furthermore, he must have been awfully nervous giving a presentation in front of so many senior detectives.
次に第3の事件、丸山町貼り付け殺人事件です。
Oh no. After a short delay, the next slide displayed a photo of the crucifixion crime scene.
これが現場写真です。
I was hoping it was just gonna be like the picture of us running away. It was him.
事件発生は9月29日。被害者は太田久志、56歳、都東大学教授。
Is he like smiling? Like
第一発見者は現場のすぐ近くのアパートに住む男性。被害者の死因は絞殺でした。殺害された後で10本程度の釘を使って貼り付けにされていました。
That's fucked up. You're strangled and it's like, well, I'm just gonna crucify you now.
見ての通り、遺体には外傷はほとんどありません。釘についても、貼り付けは一部肉体を貫通しているものもありましたが、基本的には衣服を通して貼り付けられている状態です。
This was a lot more bloody than I remember. Or, you know, like it used to. Maybe it's all cleaned up. I don't know.
マスコミでは貼り付け、血の惨劇などと謳われてますが、出血は全くなし。
But the other ones weren't cleaned up, so why would this one be? The other one, it was all bloody, like in the other images. Now this one's not.
釘はドイツのクロイツナーゲル社が販売している特徴的な長い十字架のような杭です。
Ah, the Germans at it again.
犯人が十字架型をあえて選んだということから、宗教的な側面からも捜査を進めてます。
True German engineering.
事件の起きた21時から21時半の間に、現場周辺で壁に杭を打ち付ける音が数十分続いていたという証言が複数得られました。
It's like, yeah, we heard all that.
被害者の死亡推定時刻がほぼそれと同じ時間であることから、おそらく被害者は現場かそのすぐ近くで殺害されたと思われます。また信憑性は怪しいですが、事件現場で私立水明学園の女生徒を見たという証言も上がってます。
Hey, that was me.
最後に井の頭線渋谷駅トイレ殺人事件、通称ヴァンパイア事件です。事件発生は10月10日。遺体発見は午前5時半ごろ、駅員が発見しました。
Whose eyes are those eyes?
被害者の身元は今のところ不明。身元を示すような遺留品は一切ありませんでした。
I mean, how can you tell from this who this person is? You know what I mean?
死亡推定時刻は前日の午前10時から午後6時の間。 遺体の血液はすべて抜かれており、まるでミイラのような状態で放置されていました。
That's such a wide range of like the estimated time, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
ご存知の通り、この写真が何者かによって撮影され、遺体発見より15分ほど前にインターネットのオークションに出品されており、
As he listened to Zua's explanation, Bond gave a light click of the tongue. Seems like death is what's in these days. Damn, that's a Billy Williams line right there. God, he's so cool. Yay, Chapter 3 Shogun done. Oh, die sword. Scott, why do you keep saying die sword? It's really annoying. Hey, shut up. Alright? It's die sword to me. Sign City was a pair of buildings located just south of the Shibuya Scramble Crossing. A small plaza rested in front of the entrance of the east building. While it was not nearly as big as the ones in front of Hachiko, the Moai statue, or other popular destinations, it still found itself used quite often as a meeting place. Even now, around a dozen people are staring at their cell phones, waiting for their engagements to begin. I seized it. Look at all these people on their phones. God. Oh, hey. What's up, Senna? Among those few, only one girl. It's just like, look at her. Yeah, that's a lot of spit. Just can't settle down, girl. Only one girl wore an oddly stern expression on her face as she idled. A high school student known as Aoi Senna. She was standing next to the escalator leading down from the Inokashira line station. Thank you, Brain. She leaned back against a nearby white pillar as she thoroughly scanned the environment with her gaze. In contrast to both the sharpness of her gaze and the season, she was nibbling on a popsicle, which in turn made her appear incredibly charming to the casual observer. It's strangely adorable. I don't know why. In truth, the girl was not waiting for anyone, but was instead quietly observing the passerby. From where she was standing, she could see all the way to the Jumbotron located at Scramble Crossing. Ooh, the perfect place. A music video from a famous singer was displayed on it, and on the lower portion of the screen, a news ticker was reporting the latest information on the recent string of incidents, colloquially referred to as NewGen. Not a day went by without NewGen related news. It was everywhere. TV, newspapers, the internet, weekly magazines, jumbotrons, electronic billboards, everywhere. Although Senna had absolutely no interest in the phenomenon, she would often overhear people speaking about it as she passed them by and on the streets of Shibuya. Oh, whose eyes are those eyes? Over the past few days, she had begun to see several people wearing t-shirts with those words emblazoned on them. I'm cursed. Imagine Takumi just walking down the street and he sees people wearing the shirts. That would, no. In Shibuya, the phrase had become popular as an obscure meme. It's the worst meme ever. And it was now starting to really take off. Despite the brutal scene the words originated from, people happily walked down on the streets, raving about how well the shirts were selling at souvenir shops in Harajuku. A clear indication of how disinterested people were in anything other than themselves. Well, yeah, humans are selfish. What do you think? She's even got it like the little popsicle in her Sprite. It's a stark contrast, really. Senna snorted quietly in a contemptuous display, finished the last bite of her popsicle, and closed her eyes softly without losing her stern expression. Oh, God. She listened carefully to the noise of the city. An abundance of different sounds billowed in front of the station on the Sunday afternoon. The roar of trains arriving at the platform, the blaring horns of taxis, people walking and talking, the background music coming from the jumbotrons and from the inside of Sign City stores, the announcements telling people how to safely ride the escalators. The sounds were never allowed to end. Yeah, unless they're me, then they all end and I'm the only one. Before one sound finished, another one would appear, creating a multi-layered discord that ran throughout the station. In the midst of all the discordant noise, Senna focused her attention only on the people's voices. Her mind blocked out all other sound, and their words soon became clear.
結局全部同じ犯
違う
人なのかな。
ってニュースで言ってたぞ。手口が違いすぎるって。
なんかっつバンドの歌詞と一緒らしいじゃん。
ファンタズムなもん
お前
な。
あのバンド
無限だけで
マジで
有名な
マジで
今時フ
マジで
ァンタズム知らないなんて
じゃあ
さ。
CD 貸せよ
ラジオくれてるよな。
ほらこれ見てくれよこの前からでしょ
超ゲルのメタル
結構来るじゃね
マジで来てるやつ初めて見た。
でもあれじゃねこれってニュージェネの犯人に
俺の顔が
殺してくださいってアピールしてるようなもんじゃん。
俺もいよいよ全国デビューか
最近渋谷超怖い。マジ嘘にやる気ねえもん。
入場
何よ。なんかそういう噂で殺される可能性あるじゃない。キモい男とかだけ殺される。
It's not a guy though. That way wasn't. There was that one that was like, "Hey dude, can I have that CD?" Like it was just so random compared to what everyone else was talking. I mean, it's just people talking. That's what it is. A short click of the tongue escaped from Senna's mouth, and she stopped listening soon after. There was nothing of value to be found in any of that noise. After all, noise was simply that. Noise.
この視線の感覚気のせいか
Look, I'm sorry. That's me. That's our problem. Once more, Senna examined her surroundings. For a while now, she'd been feeling a repulsive sensation, like cold fingers caressing her spine. Oh shit, that might actually be me. I have a back thing. A gaze being cast upon her by an unknown entity. One with which she was unable to pinpoint exactly what the source was. Senna pushed herself off the pillar she was leaning against. Then, as if she just remembered something, she stared down at the popsicle stick in her hand.
外れか
Oh, because they have like little who's-y what's-it, like, oh, you win, you get some more popsicles, you know. Gradually growing more and more discontent, she wrinkled her brow and began to walk quickly toward the station. Oh, Lord. Please don't take me back to Takumi. I can't.
あの空は
Whoa.
どうしてあんなに泣きたくなるくらい青いのかな
Well, I can't explain the crying part, but I could explain why the sky's blue. Because someone wished for it to be.
私は望んでない
No, but I did. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh god. Because this place is your image world, but at the same time it is mine as well.
ねえあの空はどこにあるの
Wherever you wish for it to be.
望んでいいの
Why did it do that? Ow. Oh my god. That was like a drill going right into my brain. Ow. Fucking god damn it. Look, you can't show me that and then just go to Sarah screaming at me. Well, I mean, I suppose you can. You do whatever you want, game. That's just another thing I have to question. Seraton was calling me. Last night's episode of Bloodtune was awesome. Oh, why do we have to be him? Seraton played a huge part in it, and there was a super hot kiss scene. Oh yeah, the animation quality was practically movie tier 2. Damn. Kissy poo. Seraton was calling me. Plus, she was saying such moe things that I couldn't not wake up. Hello? I tore my blanket off my body and got up from the sofa with a grin. And then it's just... You dum-dum. Oh, why is there a line? Oh, the moment I turned off my alarm clock, the voice of Seraton that had been echoing throughout the room disappeared.
Ohio, Sarah.
How do we even sleep? Like, I mean, to be fair, we haven't actually been sleeping properly. The Seraton, oh my god, now my brain is like rewritten itself to say that. The Sarah alarm clock I had was very useful. If I didn't turn it off, the volume would slowly get louder and louder, and if I still didn't get up, an obnoxious buzzer would ring out. I wanted it to be Seraton who woke me up in the morning, so I made a point to wake up and turn it off before the buzzer. I'd only failed to do so once or twice so far. After all, being woken up by Seraton was a great way to start the day. Waking up was the absolute worst. I'd played video games until dawn, and the couch had been extremely comfortable once I had actually gone to sleep, but having her to wake me up helped alleviate some of that pain. We gonna talk about that, like, Remy thing in the sky? Today was a school day. Crap! I'd skipped the day last week, so my minimum attendance chart was really starting to fall apart. I was gonna say, didn't we, like, fuck that entirely? With the chart, I was only slated to go twice this week, but because of that deviation, I was stuck having to go 3 times instead. Wow, this sucks. I didn't want to go, but it'd be much worse if I didn't. If I missed any more days, I wouldn't be able to graduate. Then again, whether or not I graduated made no difference to me, to be honest. How about we just never leave? Just a moment ago, I'd been having a dream with Remy in it. It was a strange dream. Well, sure, but like, me thinks that wasn't just like a dream. Me thinks it was very important. One that felt terribly wistful. One that felt terribly lonesome. One that felt terribly sad. And one that felt terribly distant. Would Remy come to school today? I've been thinking about it the day before yesterday constantly. I've been thinking about it so often that I'd even forgotten to play ESO yesterday. He's transforming. There'd been the appearance of Shogun. Don't talk about it. And the delusion where every person in Shibuya disappeared, but I was barely giving either of those things any thought. His thoughts are on Remy. It had to have been just a delusion of mine. There was no way Shogun could be such an old man. And the idea of people just disappearing from Shibuya or whatever was completely ridiculous. So there was no point worrying about it. Yeah, sure. It'd been a horribly realistic delusion, sure, but the fact that I'd allowed myself to fall for something so unrealistic so easily and get all freaked out about it was just embarrassing. But regardless, above all else, I was thinking about Remy. The girl I had been calling the demon girl only until a couple days ago. She's less demon, more supportive. Most of what I'd felt back then was shaky and surreal, as if it was some sort of dream. But I could still vividly remember the sensation of Remy's body embracing my own. If she hadn't done that, I could have gone insane and lost myself completely. That's why I said I'm pretty sure we definitely needed that. Why had Remy saved me? Maybe because we really were friends. I don't know anymore. I didn't have any memories of us being classmates now, let alone since first year, nor did I remember going to the movies with her along with Masumi-kun. But the way she treated me was definitely how you treat a real close friend. She'd even seemed like she'd been close to crying when she held me. That, at the very least, I didn't think was an act. That was the first time I'd ever seen a girl care about, let alone cry over an otaku freak like me. When she treated me like that, all of my fears and suspicions were blown away in an instant. In fact, it'd make me feel like I might fall in love with her. Oh, damn, that quickly, huh? No, I obviously couldn't let myself do that. 'Cause our one true love is Seraton, of course. Confusion invaded every corner of my mind. How was I supposed to act around Remy from now on? Was Remy my ally or my enemy? Was Remy the NewGen culprit? I'm pretty sure she's on our side. Like, I'm just gonna throw my eggs in that basket, and if I'm wrong, well, wouldn't be the first time. She'd saved me. That was an undeniable fact. But it was just as much of a fact that I'd seen her standing still as could be at the scene of the crucifixion covered in blood. That was your brain. That was you. You were the one who like fucking imaged her there. All right? On my way to school, I stopped by Shoto Park. After what happened with you, I'd put a stop of my habit of eating breakfast there before going to school. Yeah, we hadn't been here since then. There was no way I could feel even remotely relaxed when I thought that Yua could be watching me from anywhere. And even if I ignored that, if she came up and talked to me, she would start going off about her irritating delusional schizo bullshit all over again. She's not wrong, though. I didn't want anything to do with a girl like her. Yua was Remy's underling. Sure, my original guess may have been incorrect, but that didn't mean that Yua wasn't my enemy. It was still possible that Shogun was the boss of the whole thing and Yua was one of his underlings. Now he's switching the story. Either way, I knew I'd be better off staying as far away from her as I could. And yet, I found myself coming here today for some reason. Watch that bite us in the ass. I examined my surroundings carefully to make sure that I couldn't see Yua anywhere, and once I knew the coast was clear, I slowly sat down on my usual bench. I took a bite of my chocolate bread I'd just bought from the convenience store, then looked out at the pond. There was next to no wind, and the surface of the water was calm and serene, unlike our mind. I could see the occasional shadows of carp-esque fish gliding through the murky water. The park was unusually empty today. Oh no. I don't like when places are empty in this game. It was a very quiet spot. As my gaze wandered across the park, I couldn't help but think about Remy. Dude, that is all his mind is on now. To be honest, I've been dredging. Dredging? That is not what we're doing. I've been dreading going to school today. I knew I'd have to face her if I did. That was the real reason I was stalling at the park. I felt like I'd said a lot of awful things to her. You think, huh? And yet the smile on her face never faltered, and she always treated me like I was a close friend. And I was sure that when I went to school today, she would keep on doing that as if nothing had happened. She'd smile and talk to me like we were friends, pretending that she didn't even care at all about what happened in front of 107. It's hard to put into words, but I felt a little bit annoyed by her constant cheerfulness. Yet at the same time, I also ended up feeling more cheerful myself when I was with her. I wasn't sure how to act once I did run into her. We're just gonna act the same way we usually do, like a fucking weirdo who can't talk at all because we're very socially inept. It was true that I didn't think she was a demon anymore. But honestly, I didn't think of her as a friend either. He's like, I ain't that close yet. Misumi-kun had said that she and I had been really close classmates for the past year and a half. But I didn't remember anything like that at all. I think we're just crazy, dude. Maybe it really was because of the person controlling me. Don't be blaming me, you bastard, alright? I'm going along with the story just like you are. But making my memories of Remy and only Remy disappear with pinpoint accuracy like that? There was no way that was possible. Cue Remy showing up from behind us. Strangling us. I mean, not, just hug us. From behind. You know, the back hug, not strangling. Upon entering the school building, I lowered my head even further toward the ground. Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me. As was my usual MO, I kept close to the wall and walked slowly toward the staircase. My class was on the 3rd floor. Getting up there was a pretty big hassle. They could really use an escalator or something. Now you're just being lazy. The angel. When I reached the foot of the staircase, I spotted a girl climbing unsteadily up the stairs. She was dragging her right leg a little as she walked. Are you okay? Maybe she twisted it. Her petite body swayed from side to side. She looked extremely unstable. Oh, God damn it, if I wasn't so stupid, I would be asked to see if she needed help. As other students passed by her one after the other, the girl slowly continued to climb, exactly one step at a time. Watching her from below, I would be able to see. Oh, that's not what you should be thinking about. Shit! If I kept this up, I'd be labeled as a total pervert. I see Bill Clinton. Last thing I needed was to go in front of a mirror and see myself as Bill Clinton or some shit. God damn it, dude. Oh, with that thought in mind, I stepped onto the stairs in order to pass the girl. But right when I did... Oh no, what did I do? I'm sorry. The girl caught the tip of her shoe on one of the steps and she immediately staggered. Oh, shit. Help! Oh, no. Oh, I didn't even, assist her. I'm sorry. She then fell down so hard you could almost feel the crash sound effect. Look, her was that always there? Or did that just happen? Fortunately, she'd ended up falling on the landing, so she hadn't fallen down the entire staircase. She was still down on her knees from pain, though, and was staying pretty still. Could this be a flag? How about you just be a decent human being and fucking help her? Yeah, no way. Even if it was, calling out to her or anything even remotely similar would be impossible for her. Oh. See, I'm controlling him, but I can't actually control his actions. And then he just leaves. He just walks past her. He's such a piece of shit. I know, listen, I know it's not like he's doing it in this case to be necessarily a piece of shit. He's just bad at, anything. So I hurriedly slipped past her. Okay, bye. Sorry, but you should get some womanizer who's actually into 3D to help you. Someone like Masumi-kun. That is not who would... I'm about to have an aneurysm. This man, I can't. You really shouldn't rely on me. You are... Just fucking help her. She just fell. She's in pain. But the girl was staying curled up on the ground so motionlessly, I started to get a little worried. I was halfway up the stairs when I slowly turned back around to check on her. Okay, take two. Oh, the girl was gripping on the railing and trying her absolute hardest to stand back up. The fact that also nobody else is helping either, to be like, hey, are you okay? God damn it. Her knees were trembling. She looked like a newborn fawn or something. Her knee was oozing blood. Maybe she'd scraped it. I seen it. Oh, her face. I'd seen it before. Wasn't she the girl who transferred into my class last week? Yeah, she's the angel. What was her name again? I couldn't remember. Oh, wow, she was crying. Did it hurt that badly? Bro, she fell from the stairs. I'd be crying too. The fall had definitely been pretty bad, but not bad enough that she'd cry from it. What a baby. There was nobody else willing to lend her a hand. After just barely managing to stand up, she bent forward and peered down at her knee. She must have been checking to see if she'd been hurt. Can we just... The transfer student wiped away her tears, set down her bag on the spot, and started rummaging around inside it. What's she looking for, I wondered? Does she have a first aid kit? Oh, and she's so happy. Wait. Suddenly, she raised her hand above her head in a triumphant manner. Clasped in her hand was a Band-Aid. Perfect. Our eyes met. Don't look at me. I'm hideous. The transfer student went red in surprise soon after, then hung her head. Regardless, she looked like she was okay, so I was sure she'd be fine without me. God, any excuse he looks for to not have interaction. Thinking that, I hurriedly made my way to class. You're going the same place. Jesus. You need help? Here, I'll help you stand up. You good? Come on, we'll go to the class together. Like, it's not... Listen, I know I'm getting irritated by him, but, you know, it is what it is. As per usual, I kept my head down and my gaze fixed on my toes. You can't see them with your shoes. Wait, no, yes. And while still remaining silent, I took my seat. You're like little whatsamaku, the slippers. When I sat down, I remember that the transfer student had said something to me the day she transferred. I'm so happy we're in the same class or something. I'd forgotten all about it after everything with Remy, but I wonder what she meant by that.
Yo, Taku.
Still according to the routine, Misumi called out to me. Maybe he didn't have any other friends besides me. If we're your only friend, I feel like there's a problem. He'd always talk to me and no one else, so I was starting to genuinely suspect that. Well, you're in the same class, like.
聞いてくれよ。昨日さ、怪しいおっさん2人が校長室に入ってくのを見たんだ。
Well, I also saw a sketchy old dude as well.
で、俺とリミトでこっそり盗み聞きしてみたらびっくりしたぜ。
Oh no. Why?
その2人、刑事だったんだぜ。
Wow, I wonder who they were. Detectives.
なんか深刻そうに全校生徒の名簿とか見ててよ。もしかしてニュージェネと関係あんのかな？
Nah, of course not. Maybe the true NewGen culprit was someone at this very school. I couldn't help it, but a face popped into my mind. Remy's. No, stop with the Remy hatred. Or the... Oh, and speak of the God, she's not a demon anymore. I jumped. I even said, speak of the devil. Jesus Christ. I felt my heart rate leap up when I heard Remy's voice invade the conversation. I couldn't look up. I was too nervous. But this was a completely different kind of nervousness than last week's.
あれはお前がドア勝手に開けたせいだぞ。分かってんのか？
I love how it's her idea.
しょうがないでしょ。本物の刑事さんって見るの初めてだったからちょっと興奮しちゃってつい。
Makes sense to me.
何をどうやったらついドアを開けるんだよ。おかげで俺らまで刑事から話を聞かれる羽目になったんだからな。
Oof. You got questioned by perhaps Billy Williams.
大臣ってば刑事さんに聞かれちゃまずいことでもあったの？
そういうお前はどうなんだ？
It's actually Misumi-kun all along.
さあね。
Oh, don't say that. I'm just gonna smash my head into this desk. Misumi-kun and Remy were having a conversation with my desk sandwich in between them. They were completely ignoring my existence, as everyone should, really. But to be honest, I was grateful for that. Even if Remy talked to me, I didn't have any faith that I'd be able to say anything back. I was hoping the bell would ring before they got a chance to say anything to me, but when I glanced at the clock, I saw there were still about 5 minutes until class started. Oh, and it's gonna be the slowest 5 minutes of my life.
そういやタク、ここに来る途中で梢ちゃん見なかったか？
Yes, I totally just ignored her. Kozue-chan? Who?
ああ、そっか。どうせお前のことだから覚えてねえとは思ったけど。
Cause
マジで
it's
そうだったんだな。
Cause it's you.
先週転校してきた子のことだよ。折原梢ちゃん。
Oh, so that was her name, Orihara Kozue.
階段で
階段？
She fell and I just decided not to help her.
見た。
Cause I'm kind of a piece of shit.
お、そっか。じゃあもうすぐ来るな。
Who's very bad at social anything. Misumi-kun's voice gave off an aura of intense enthusiasm. I hadn't seen him this energetic since a few days ago when he'd found out that Fez was from the next class over. In other words, I'd never seen him give his all for anything except girls. Which reminded me that just last week, Misumi-kun had already gone and hit on the transfer student the moment she'd arrived. You really are incorrigible. You got a girlfriend and everything. I hope you're proud.
なあ、 小勢ちゃんってマジ可愛いと思わね
I mean, I guess. He asked me something I had trouble answering. I moved my head down ambiguously, which he apparently took as yes.
え太郎俺一目で気に入っちまったよ
You,
なんか守ってやりたくなるんだよな
you fall for everybody.
男子みんなも同じ意見だよどいつも可愛いって言ってんだけどよ女子の間じゃあんま評判良くねえんだよな
Why? What did she do?
まだ転校してきたばっかだぜそれなのに早くもうざいみたいな意見まで出てきてんだよ
What? I can't imagine she did anything that would make her have this reputation
こ
already.
のクラスの女子って性格悪いやつ多すぎだ
oh
それっ
no.
て大臣のせいじゃないの？
I was like, is Remy about to come in and say something?
だいたいそのうざいって言ったのどうせ大臣の彼女でしょ？
Oh.
ああそうだけど
そりゃあ彼女にしてみればうざいに決まってるよ自分の彼氏が目の前で折原さんを口説きに行っちゃってたらさ
Makes sense to me.
私でさえよく喧嘩売られるんだから大輔君に近寄らないでってしかも一人じゃなくて何人かから言われた
マジ
自覚なしか少しは反省したら
He's so unaware.
いやーモテる男はつらいぜ
Ugh.
これだよさすが女の敵もう私フォローしてあげないからね
Is the 5 minutes up yet?
あ、折原さん来た
Oh?
なんか怪我してるみたいじゃね
Yeah, I saw that.
本当だどうしたんだろう
She'd gotten hurt back when I saw her on the stairs. I obviously wasn't going to tell him that, though. I was trying to avoid talking to Remy in any way possible.
俺ちょっと言ってくれ
Of course. God damn it. Misumi-kun ran up to where the transfer student was. Thanks to that, Remy was the only one left standing close to my desk. Misumi-kun, please don't go. Oh, God damn it. Why? You know what? I'm going positive on this one. I don't know why. Something's telling me in my jimmies that I need to. Remy didn't say anything, but she didn't move away from my seat either. Considering the fact that I was hunched over so far on my desk that I could nearly sink my teeth into it, I couldn't see her expression. All I could do was see her waist. But if that were true, that would mean that she had to be facing me. In other words, she was looking at me. Alright, take me to the wibbly-wobbly timeline. Oh, it's gonna be all cringy and shit. Oh, the wibbly-wobbly. I should work up some courage and act natural.
おはよう崎畑さん
I hate it.
おはよ
I hate when he speaks. Alright, first contact went well. But just when I started to feel relieved, Remy tilted her head to the side with a
う
frown.
ねえタクなんで急に妙竹林の呼び方するの
This is how I always talk.
妙竹林
崎畑さんなんてなんだか他人行儀今までみたいに呼んでよ
We don't know that, though. Like I normally did, but I didn't even know what that was.
じゃあリミ
There you go.
おなんだいタク
いや特に何もないけど
じゃあ私から一言
Oh, God. Oh, no. Remy cleared her throat, looked around the room, and then brought her face close to mine.
タクは大臣みたいになっちゃダメだよ
That's never gonna happen.
ああいう女たらしはいつかひどい目に遭うに決まってるから
あうん
You don't have to...
肝に銘じておくよ
You don't have to worry about that at all.
タクのそういう素直なところ私好きだな
She liked something about me. Huh. What is this feeling? In other words, from Remy's POV, was I the honest, neutral character archetype?
そもそも私 大臣のことで一つだけどうしても許せないことがあるんだよね。あれだけあちこちの女子に声かけてるのに、私には全く見向きもしないってこと。
What? Oh my god.
ひどいと思わない？
え三角くんに口説かれたいの？
It's the principle of the thing. I guess that wasn't surprising. He was a total alpha in terms of looks, and he was fun to talk to. Even if you stuck him with a penalty for being a playboy, he'd probably still be the type any girl would like to go out with. But despite what I thought she was talking about, Remy frowned and shook her head.
たく、冗談きついよ。
What?
大臣に口説かれるなんて想像しただけで鳥肌立っちゃう。
She wrapped her arms around herself and made a big show out of pretending to shiver.
私はノーサンキュー。でもなんていうのかな、女としてのプライドっていうものがあるわけじゃない？
That's what, see, that was what I was saying. It's the principle of the thing.
ねえ、タクから見て、私ってどう？
Oh,
魅
fuck.
力ある？
Oh, God. You're asking something so hard that's really hard to answer.
どう？
I mean, and didn't help that her eyes were twinkling and she was clearly bursting with anticipation. That's, of course, I thought she was attractive, but it'd take a lot of courage to say that out loud. Yeah, and our courage score is very low. Oh.
み
Oh.
認めたくないものだな。
Wait a minute. I gotta look at that tip. Okay, let's see. Is this another reference? Short for the full, no one likes to admit to the mistakes they made because of their youth. A quotation from a very popular mecha anime series, often followed with the various lines about youth, such as, "That's what it is to be young," of course.
若さゆえの過ちというものを。
Jesus.
引っかかった。
Look at that. You continued it. Remy smiled triumphantly. Was she actually an otaku? There was no way. I smiled a bitter smile in defeat. But even though the conversation was completely normal, I found myself having a lot of fun. Up until now, I'd almost never had this kind of conversation with a girl before. I didn't know why, but I felt like we clicked pretty well together. Weirdly enough, that's how it seems this whole time, but we're also very, you know, which was why I was able to say what came next so naturally.
リミは魅力的だよ。
Damn! There's no way in hell he would ever actually say that. Remy exaggeratedly threw her head backwards, and her face instantly turned beet red.
面と向かって言われると恥ずかしい。
She really did turn beet red.
でも、ありがとう。タクにそう言ってもらえるとすごく嬉しい。
She wanted you to hit on her.
大臣に口説かれるより1億兆倍嬉しい。
I hope so.
1億兆なんて桁はないけど。
Well, actually.
なんとなくニュアンスで分かってよ。それだけスケールの大きい嬉しさってこと。
The happiness scale. So that's what it is to be young. If only I could have had that kind of conversation daily. Every day of my life would be fun and fulfilling, and how I saw the world would change completely. But at the end of the day, that was just an illusion. The me in reality couldn't even make eye contact with Remy. I just kept my head down, didn't move, and stayed silent. I despised my own cowardice. And so, I was hit with a fierce wave of depression. Great!
タク?
Just what we needed. Remy, who had been silent the entire time, finally called out to me, albeit hesitantly. But I couldn't respond due to how sudden it was. To her, it probably felt like I was ignoring her. In my head, I knew I couldn't keep acting like this, but in the end, I still couldn't get myself to do anything.
大丈夫?
No. This time I nodded frantically. It probably made me look pretty suspicious.
そうだったらいいんだ。
Remy's voice was gentle. I could hardly believe it, but she seemed like she was going to continue patiently being with me, even though I was being silent. "Are you okay?" was what she'd said. I felt the sudden urge to ask her something. I wanted to ask, back when we met in front of 107, what did it look like to you? Considering the fact that she hadn't mentioned anything in particular, it seemed like she didn't know anything about the people temporarily disappearing from the streets of Shibuya, nor anything about the wheelchair-bound Shogun, which would probably mean it'd been one of my delusions after all. That was what that was why I wanted to ask her. But I didn't think I'd be able to look up and do so after all this time. Either way, I couldn't do it today. I couldn't even prepare myself to ask her. So next time, I'd ask her for the very next time I came to school. Yeah! Should probably organize my questions I wanted to ask her before then.
ねえタク、折原さんがこっち来たよ。
Oh, the transfer student? Why was she coming over here? Was she gonna come down on me for not helping her down the stairs earlier? Or, not down the, you know what I mean. But she didn't seem like the type of person to do that. Or maybe she wasn't coming up to me, but actually wanted Remy for something. You piece of shit. Destroys me. The transfer student came up to Remy, then stopped. She didn't say anything. What the hell? Ah, that's typical. That's like us behavior. As long as Remy was there, I couldn't raise my head. The transfer student's toes were fidgeting, but she still didn't say or try to say anything.
折原さん、どうしたの？
Huh? For some reason, the new student timidly then placed a single bandage on the edge of my desk. It was a fancy one with a picture of a weird character. Not the fucking... The Garo Froggy emblazoned on it. Why is Adbury... I don't trust it. Go on, get. Was she giving it to me? Why? I didn't do anything. And how do I react? This Orihara Kozue girl is kind of weird. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'll take it. Oh, Jesus. I didn't mean it. What? Was she crying? Well, why was she crying? Why was it because I didn't say anything? But the transfer student hadn't said anything to me either.
タクは怒ってるわけじゃないと思うよ。
Remy swooped in to cover for me. Come to think of it, that was a little bit odd. I didn't know next to nothing about Remy, and yet she knew a lot about me.
彼ってあんまり人と目を合わせようとしないの。引っ込み思案ってやつ。
That's because we're a psychopath.
だからそんなにガチガチに緊張しなくてもね。
Thank God I have my support team with me.
私にも絆創膏くれるの？ありがとう。
Is this like her sign of friendship? Here's a band-aid. With that, the transfer student bowed her head deeply to Remy, and then she sped her way back to her seat. It was almost like she was running away or something.
なんだかよくわかんないんだけど、タク、その絆創膏もらってあげるべきだと思う。
I'll take the band-aid. Why wasn't you giving it to me?
梢ちゃん、無口だよな。
Apparently. I got the feeling Masumi-kun had come back.
転校初日に俺が校内を案内したんだけどよ。
うわぁ、早くも手出したんだ。
Yeah, he was.
まだ出してねえっつうの。
He was trying.
で、まあ1時間ぐらいかけてあちこち回ったんだけど、もう俺一人で延々と喋り続けたよ。あの時はさすがにちーっと疲れたぜ。しかもすぐ泣きべそかく。
I see that.
そうそう。今も急に泣き出したから何が起きたかと思ってあたふたしちゃった。
そんだけピュアなんだよ。なあタク、お前ならわかるだろ。
Does
梢ちゃんの仕草一つ一つの可愛さってのがよ。
Does Kozue need protection? Is that what I'm getting at here?
お前流に言うなら萌えってやつだ。
Neat speak.
なんだクソでも我慢してんのか？
Kinda, but like, we don't need to talk about it. I shook my head from side to side as hard as I could.
タク、さっきからちっとも喋ってくれないんだ。
Well, I don't talk. Yeah, that's because you're here. I wasn't ready for that. I had never talked to a friend who was also a girl, all friendly before. Then again, I'd never had a single female friend before, not throughout my entire life.
でもさ、今折原さんと話してみてなんとなく思ったんだけど、彼女と話してるとなんだか疲れちゃいそうかもなんて。
Just talking to her?
女子ってのはマジで同性に対して容赦ねえな。ま、梢ちゃんは俺が守るからいいけどな。
ほんの数十秒前に大地も相手するの疲れたって言ってなかった？
This has been the longest 5 minutes of our life.
うっせ。梢ちゃんはタクと同じ匂いがするぜ。ほっとけねって感じ？
それはわかるかも。
Don't even compare me in the same ballpark. Oh my god. Dude, she just like gave the band, like, what did I didn't, is it actually just a sign of friendship? Here you go. Here's a Band-Aid with the stupid ass frog on it that I don't trust. Dude, I don't trust. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I've lost enough sanity points to be this crazy. But there's something about those frogs that I just do not like.